we are fully prepared, and because the polling stations or voter population for various polling stations has been reduced, counting will be faster, announcing of results at the polling station will be faster. For that matter, collation will start early, and hopefully by 8 to 9 p.m., the winner for the parliamentary elections will be known. And the presidential, we don't have the power to declare here, but you send the results to headquarters to our regional collation center. So systems have been put in place to ensure that this year the results are collated early and declared early. That's why the chairperson is fully assured and confident that with the systems in place and the kind of training that's been given to the officials, there won't be any delay as we used to have. Yeah, we have a total number of 123 voting centers or polling stations. And today we are expecting 59,228 voters to cast their ballots across the municipality. So the voter population is 59,228 for today. Earlier on, during the special voting, we were expecting 446 people to cast their ballots, and 405, representing 90.81% who turned out to vote on 1st December. So if we are going to replicate this, or if people will turn out as they turn out during the special voting, then a lot more people are going to cast a ballot today.
So the electoral officer in Hohoe given us a breakdown in terms of materials and how they will be dispatching those materials. Hohoe is an interesting place. We will take a look there a bit later on in our analysis, because that's where the energy minister is also standing. Let me bring in Evans Mensah, head of our political desk, into this conversation. Evans is on our smart wall this morning. He'll be doing a lot of analysis, great analysis overnights, by the way, with Winston Amwa.
Yep.
But your map should be empty this morning, obviously, because we haven't started voting yet and we haven't even started counting.
Absolutely. So this is our smart wall. Yesterday we did it from a different studio, our studio 997. Today we're doing it from the JoyNews studio. Same analysis, a bit more, I guess, oomph, because it's the day itself, right? But one of the things that we're going to be watching is this particular map. That we're going to show you right now. This is a 2020 map, and it's, as you see here, it is empty, right? And so this map shows you nothing until the results start trickling in. And what you see in this map is all the constituencies mapped out for you. So let me just go to anywhere. Where do you want to go?
Let's go to Hohoe.
Let's go to Hohoe. Okay, so let's start. Hohoe will be here in the Volta region, right? So you pull up the map and tell me where Hohoe is. That's it, right there. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that closely because it's going to be interesting for us today. So we will, again, it's empty. Is it going to be won by the MPP for the first time, or something's going to be happen in terms of the continued trend for the NDC? So we'll see what that plays out today. Whole Central is going to be interesting. I mean, Adaklu, my favorite place. Why? Because I was there in 2016. The story hasn't changed much. This is the area where I felt for the first time that something was going to happen in the 2016 elections that may affect the NDC because of some voter apathy in Adaklu that will play out today. But this is empty. What is going to happen tonight is I'm going to move back to the map itself. As the results coming, this map would turn two colors. In fact, possibly when it's an independent, a third color. But we expect this largely to be filled by the two colors. Green, if it turns green, if a constituency turns green, it means that the NDC has won that place. If a constituency turns blue, it means the MPP has won it. And this is going to happen with a staff of people in the back room who will be inputting with our correspondent across the country all the figures that is coming in. So this is interesting to watch later tonight as it begins to fail. Now, one of the things also that we'll be doing tonight is the race to 50% plus one, which is also very interesting to watch. And when that begins to unfold, we will call on this. I want to show you a bit more what happened in 2016 with that map, not into detail because we're going to come into that. So if you go into 2016, and this is the 2016 map, we'll tell the story of 2016 very shortly. This is the race to 50% plus one. That is the race. This, you wanna cross this black mark here, right? You wanna cross it. Whoever crosses it first wins it a bit, clearly. And we're going to see this also play out this year. We're going to pull up this for 2020, and we'll be showing you the race, right?
So the mark that you talk about for the just so our listeners, those who are listening to us on radio, on Joy FM and Love FM can understand, is the 50 plus the one, so beyond the 50. Beyond the 50. You will need to get to 50, but you need to have one more vote to cross this black line here, which I'm circling for those of us watching. And if, again, you can join us on all our mobile social media platforms to watch this as it unfolds here. So that will be up here, and then we'll see who is racing towards it and who is getting there first. Whoever crosses it wins it, right? If you fail to cross it, if none of them fail to cross it, what happens? You expect a runoff to happen. That is one of the things we'll be watching later tonight when the results coming for this particular year. But I'm really waiting for this particular map to fill up tonight. That is where the interesting story is for tonight, for all those who are joining us across the world here on the election. Great. Evans, also tell us in terms of the difference in map, because we have more regions, obviously, because we've got 16 now, but in 2016, we had 10.
Absolutely. So this is one of the things I say is the greatest unknown in this year's elections. There are a few great unknowns this year. What are those? These are the unique things that has never happened in our elections before. One, obviously, is the fact that first time in our elections that we're going to have for the first time two candidates who've both held power recently. One, an incumbent, the other, a former president, right? First, great unknown. How does that affect the outcome of the polls? We don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Secondly, first time we have three female presidential candidates on the ballot. We've never had that before. Again, good for the gender advocates, and I know you're one of them. We're going to see how they affect the polls and their performance. Third, great unknown, is the first time the list of sheer presidential hopefuls on the ballot is 12. Longest we've ever had. The last time we had anything close, it was 10 people on the ballot in 1979. We've not had that before. These three are great unknowns. But what I say is the greatest unknown is the fact that the first time in our history, we are going to a poll, a general election, with not 10 regions, but 16 regions. 6 of them we've never seen before, but they're going to come into play. Last night, if you join us in Election Eve, we explained how those 6 may vote today and the impact is going to have on tonight's elections. Let me circle for you these key regions. You know them already, but if you're watching on television, just to illustrate why these areas are important. So you have Bono right there, which didn't used to be the case. It used to be one monolithic region called Bono Ahafo. Then you have Bono East, and then, of course, in there, you have Ahafo, right? These three are key. The reason why these are key this year, today, later today, and this we'll be watching, because when they stood as one region, it was a swing region. Each time Bono Ahafo, previous Bono Ahafo, voted for you presidential, if you want it, you want the national elections. However, this year, it's no longer one monolithic region. So how will these three vote? We told you that yesterday. Mama V will come back to that. For those who missed yesterday, we'll tell you how we expect them to vote this year and who may win what. That is key. Also, I'm interested in Western region, right? Now we have Western region, and now we have Western North. So here is Western North, and there is Western region. Now, key. It again used to be one monolithic region that again was a swing region. However, this year it's being split into two. Question is, how will the two vote? Will they still be swing? We think Western North is going to be an NDC stronghold. Western region is going to swing. We're going to prove that shortly with our analysis if those who didn't watch us yesterday. Again, we're going to the Northern region. There are 3 regions there that were not there in 2016. We see Savannah here. And we see Northern region, and we see Northeast. My favorite of these three is Northeast. I'll show you the analysis why my favorite is that. There's something very peculiar that I believe have never happened in our fourth Republican political history that has happened in Northeast. If you isolate Northeast and track it since 1996, you begin to see something very, very peculiar happening there. If you watched it last night, you know what I'm talking about. I'll come to that very shortly. Then there's Savannah, then there's Northern Region. We'll talk about these. But these, of course, are important. But then there's OT, right? Which also for the first time coming into play this year. Never had been in play in an elections. It's coming into play this year. It's going to obviously affect the polls. What is the story there? This OT place is the only place where the NPP has a seat. Okay, so it's going to be important. We've tracked OT. One of the things we tracked OT for, because people will wonder why OT, because it's a stronghold of the NDC. It used to be part of the
Volta region.
But if you do the trend, there is something very interesting that stands out for you, that jumps out at you. That's why we did it. Last night, we kept OT on ice. We didn't outdoor our analysis of it. We'll do that tonight.
Great.
Volta region is also there now. It's standing by itself. Of course, there's a lot of interest there for NDC and an MPP in particular. One of the analysis we'll be doing for you today is how both parties have been performing in their strongholds against the other party. Okay? What that will tell you is which party is doing absolutely top game, A game in their stronghold, and which party is catching up. Okay? Now, we also know, as we begin to illustrate shortly, Ashanti region, stronghold of the NDC also, that
the
NPP also is that in the Ashanti region, the NDC must get a certain percentage, and this is true since 1996, to win the national elections. What I mean is, you cannot discount Ashanti region if you're NDC today, okay? You need to get a certain percentage of that to win, because if you put Ashanti region votes together that GM got in 2016, it's bigger than what he got in Upper West and Upper East combined. It is so significant for them in terms of share numbers. We'll tell you what a percentage is shortly. So here is our story today, and this is what we'll be watching as the day progresses to 5 p.m. and beyond when the results start falling.
Great. But Evans, even though we've got 16 regions, we still have 275 constituencies.
Yes.
That hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't changed. And that is the story of how we got the analysis done. Because yesterday people were asking me, okay, but why are you analyzing Bono region historically? Because Bono was not there in 1996, wasn't there in 2016. So what are you talking about when you say historical trend analysis of Bono? Well, what we did is what you just suggested. Because Bono, let me go into Bono. Let me go into Bono for a second. Goodness me, we lost the feed there. We're going to come back to it shortly.
Yeah.
When we bring it in here on our smart wall.